going on, boys? My name is Sid, and this is going to be a full, complete guide on how to unlock the 550 Spyder through the stories, that being a Billionaires Work. So this is going to be a little complicated, so I'm going to just explain how this is all going to work. So I'm going to tell you every single thing I can about how to unlock each place, where the locations are, where you can teleport to get a little head start. And as well as that, just because there's going to be some time from you driving from one place to the next, after I've given you the tips of where the location is, you're required to drive without teleporting, so I'm going to read you the story that comes with it, so you can listen to it while you drive. And it'll even help make this feel a bit more natural rather than you just watching a guide to unlock the car. You're more getting to actually know about the story that comes along with it and where you're going. At the end of every story, I will give you a prompt where I say, feel free to pause now. You can then pause and wait till you arrive at your destination. That is basically how this is gonna work, so I do hope you boys enjoy it, and let's go into it. Step 1, the biggest yacht. Find the biggest yacht in Port Isabel, south of Coastal Plains, which is south of Dallas. Right down here at the bottom of Texas is Port Isabel Speed Trap. If you zoom into that like this, just down the road is Port Isabel. And the road leading into Port Isabel to the right of that, very obviously, is the big yacht. You can teleport to Port Isabel Speed Trap to start from there. And while I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be using the Corvette ZR1 Gold Nugget Edition. I recommend a hypercar or an Alpha GP car. So here we are, you just have to drive along this pier and then you'll get the prompt to collect the beginning of this step. I've already done it, so it doesn't appear for me, but now we're going to move on to the next step, and because of room, I'm going to explain the story for the first step here. Step 2, the Oil Field. Travel from Coastal Plains, which is south of Dallas, to the oil fields northeast of Fort Stockton, which is southwest of Dallas, with any ground vehicle. And here to the bottom left of Dallas, you'll see Big Bend, and to the bottom right of Big Bend is this little town, where if we zoom in, far out from the road that leads off from the town is this circular oil tanker. This is where you want to set your waypoint. Now for this one, you can teleport to Port Isabel Speed Trap again. This is because where you have to go from Coastal Plains isn't actually where you are right now. As I speed up and drive up there, you'll see as I'm going in here, you want to turn into here and wait till from Coastal Plains goes green. Then you can continue and follow the waypoint as normal. And here we are, driving to our second location, and here is where I'm going to explain both Step 1's and Step 2's story. So, the yacht we just went to. I was an oil tycoon, the richest man in Texas. I needed the best of everything. For a boat, I got the biggest yacht in the Gulf of Mexico. My home on the coast, south of Dallas. And now the oil field that we're going to right now, my oil field northeast of Fort Stockton, was the most profitable in Texas. An uninterrupted flow of money to get me the best, fashionable clothes, the swankiest houses, and collect the finest luxury cars. Now, you may already know just from what the reward for this is, the car we are getting is the 550, which belongs to James Dean, a famous movie star actor who actually died in a crash in his 550, and this is a story about him. We've now gotten to our location, so feel free to pause. Step 3, the Smoking Cigars Club. Travel from Big Bend, which is southwest of Dallas, to the Smoking Cigars Club in New Orleans, which is west of Miami, with any ground vehicle. New Orleans is here on the map, and there is a touring car race called Serial Jumpers. If you hover over that and zoom in, it is literally across the road from that touring car race. Now, there is also another problem with this one, and that is where you are currently isn't Big Bend, the place you need to go from. So, if you go to the top left of where you are to Big Bend Street Race, and you can teleport to that. That will green Big Bend, and you can just start driving from there. So, let's go. The Smoking Cigars Club. At an exclusive private club in New Orleans, I heard about the Porsche 550 Spyder. Of course, that is the car that this whole thing is about. Only 90 copies produced from 1953 to 1956. The rarest of rare. I knew right away I would do anything to have my own. So, this man's getting himself a 550. That's the step, and this is quite the drive, so enjoy the rest of it. And now, feel free to pause until you get to the location. Step 4. Hotel in Miami. Travel from New Orleans, which is west of Miami, to the hotel in downtown, which is in Miami. So this one is rather simple. If you see on the map here, there's a stadium on the waterfront, and right next to the stadium, here where I'm showing you, is this hotel. That's where you set the waypoint to. There's no head starts to get here, so you can just start driving now from where you are. I mean, this one I only found like a 2-minute drive, so enjoy this one a little bit. And where are we at? Well, we know of this 550 now, and we like it. We like the 550 Spyder. So, first, I flew the world specialist to a hotel in Miami, where he told me everything. How the 550 won the Carrera Panamericana in 1954 with Hans Hermann, as well as the Mile Miglia and Targo Florio races. I apologize if I pronounced any of those races wrong, but, I'm trying my best. But yes, we're at this hotel to talk to a specialist who knows about the car. And, well, we're here now, so feel free to pause. Step 5, the garage. Travel from Miami to the garage in the southwest of Daytona, which is north of Miami. Daytona is right here on the coast of America above Miami, and the actual location is at the very bottom left of Daytona, right here. And also, seeing as it's only Miami you have to go to, you can travel to this US Speed Tour event and get a head start. You will have to drive into Miami, again, wait till it's green, and then you can set off from there. Okay, so this is a very quick one. So we talked to the specialist, then I visited the leading expert in his garage in Daytona. He told me that the unique move would be to make my own 91st car. His idea was not locate an old one, but to find old parts and build a new 550. So wow, we're now just going to be building our own 550. Only 90 of them in the world, and now we're making our own. This road is very straight, by the way, very quick, so pause now if you're not already there. Step 6, we're almost halfway there, Dinosaur Park. Travel from Daytona, which is north of Miami, to the dinosaur statues in the river, southeast of Dallas. So this one's a weird one to explain, but it is below Dallas, near that area, but you can just see on screen where I'm zooming into, and you want to go, when you found this little park, to the bottom left where the two Stegosauruses are, and you want to land right there with your waypoint. And, well, feel free to set off. So, even I'm curious why we're going to a dinosaur park, to be honest. We were building a 550, are we not? I think that's the plan. So, the expert told me of an old junkyard south of Dallas, now turned into a dinosaur statue park. Oh, that makes sense. So, Mr. Billionaire over here is going to some old, what was it? A junkyard, okay. Not wanting to be seen as a dinosaur myself, I took part in the digging. Buried deep, we found an engine. An engine? They found an engine just in the... Huh? I mean, to be fair, there was a story a while ago where they found the bones of some royalty just in a parking lot outside of Tesco, which is a British Walmart, I suppose. I mean, that is okay, just a full engine. I mean, hey, carry on your drive to the Dinosaur Park to grab this engine, and feel free to pause now as we arrive there. Step 7, Railroad Station. Travel from Dallas to the railroad station in Santa Fe, which is northwest of Dallas. This one's quite easy. Well, over here is Santa Fe. Once you've spotted that, it's at a strange case of the 1950s, the street race. It's there, that little city, and you zoom in to the very southern bit of the city in the bottom left. That's where you'll, very obviously, with the big yellow thing, find the railroad station. You can just set your waypoint there. You can see me faffing on with my waypoint a little bit. And also, obviously, you want to go from Dallas for this. We're not in Dallas right now, so feel free to teleport to this event right here. This will give you a little bit of a head start, and you can go and start driving from there. So we've just found an engine all of a sudden. I mean, we have this engine for a very convenient find for this 550 that we're now going to build. I assume the engine is completely compatible, and I'm actually kind of wondering now how accurate this is. Did James Dean actually build his own 550? Or maybe this isn't actually James Dean, it's just a different billionaire, and it's actually just an homage to James Dean. But hey ho. So, the actual story here. With the heart unearthed, I now needed a body to put it in. Offering a reward paid off, and I was told of an abandoned container in Santa Fe Railroad Station, inside the chassis of a 550 Spyder. So, what happened to the inside of that one? How do we find an engine, but then there's a different chassis in Santa Fe's railway station? I don't know, okay? Don't ask me. I'm just kind of curious now that we're just finding all these little puzzle pieces. But yeah, okay, so driving over there, and feel free to pause now. Step 8, the pawn shop in Vegas. Travel from Santa Fe, which is northwest of Dallas, to the pawn shop in Las Vegas. Okay, this one is fairly easy. There's a bike race at the bottom of Las Vegas. You'll see it, Red Rock. Now, if you just zoom into that, it's literally down the road. Right there, you'll see on the screen. And you can just set your waypoint there. Now, this is a very long one, so without even any actual head starts, it's a lot of driving this one, so good luck. Okay, so we've got an engine, and we've got a chassis, and I assume something's going to be going on in this pawn shop that we also need to get, or, sorry, our billionaire friend needs to get from this pawn shop in Vegas. A pawn shop, well, here we go, we're about to find out. A pawn shop in Vegas, specialized in gamblers' cars, had a frame of a 550 Spyder imported by the same Australian prince, though they said I was a man to their liking. I had to pay a king's ransom for it, so, well, I mean, this is now me talking again, by the way, but he's paying a lot. This man is paying, he wants this 550. I suppose when you're a billionaire, how much do you consider a king's ransom? I'm sure if you wanted a 550 and you're building your own one, would it not have cost more to just get one? Would like just one itself? I don't know. I don't know how the mind of a billionaire works, believe it or not. But hey, it's a long drive, so good luck with this one. I'll see you there, and feel free to pause now and enjoy your drive, wondering about which billionaire's gonna buy a 550 next. All right, feel free to pause. Step 9. House in Santa Barbara. Travel from Las Vegas to this house in Santa Barbara, which is on the west coast. If you're a season pass owner, you'll recognize the area. It's the north of the house that's in LA, and you can zoom into it. It's this little town. I know it because it leads into a drift road, and at the very bottom of the town, the last house, the most southern one, is where you'll find the house you want, so just place your waypoint there. And we're already on the edge of Las Vegas anyway, so we're just gonna go from here. Okay, so we are just off to a house now. I'm curious to know whose house it is, because if you were really paying attention, we know that our billionaire friend here, he lived in Texas, and that's where he was the richest man of. So, let's go into the story for this. We all know the young movie star who died crashing his his 550 Spyder into a house in Santa Barbara. So this is where it plays into it, on the west coast. See, now on the way we've been going here, I pieced together that this actually isn't the story of James Dean. This isn't, he didn't craft his own one. He just bought one. He didn't have to buy. He didn't have to. The man had the money. He just bought one. And he crashed it. And I was curious because I was like, oh, well, this isn't James Dean's story. Is it just an homage to his? Vaguely, but no. We all know of the young movie star who died crashing his 550 Spyder into a house in Santa Barbara. I assume that is James Dean on the west coast. But all I recovered of that locations was the exhaust system and his sunglasses. Hey, you know what? It would be nice if maybe as a little Easter egg, if you finish this, you got sunglasses, but I've already finished this and I know you don't. But hey, I mean, I guess we're just gonna go steal an exhaust now. I mean, I know the chassis of his car was stolen and that's never been found. This is more lore for later. Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your drive. It's kind of a long one, and feel free to pause now. Step 10, the old barn. Travel from Santa Barbara, which is on the west coast, to this old barn near Fresno, which is on the west of Las Vegas. So here's Fresno. It's rather close. It's in between you and Las Vegas, and if you zoom into Fresno, you'll see two tall buildings. One of them, from this perspective, is vertical and the other horizontal. You want vertical on the left, horizontal on the right, and then just go down. It is right there, just right down from Fresno. In the first field is a barn. That's where you want to put your waypoint. And here we go, time to drive. So, a barn. Now I'm really in the Forza mood as we're building this 550, and we're on step 10. So, I think it is likely that we find our final part here, and then maybe take it to somewhere to put it together, and then I don't know what the last one would be, to be honest. Obviously, you boys know I've already done this, but, I wasn't really paying attention to the stories when I did it. So, why are we going to this barn? The man who had the man who had towed the stars crashed 550 Spyder had retired. The man who had towed the stars crashed 550 Spyder had retired to an old farm south of Fresno. He still had the seats. His hound sleeping on them. I traded them for a brand new sofa for his dog. Cheap. I mean, yeah, I would say so. I'd say I'm surprised that person hasn't been questioned yet. So some seats go missing from a famous movie star's crash, and it's just fine that the tow truck driver's driven away with them, I suppose. And being the tow truck driver, to just give him to your dog, have some standards, fella. Hey, at least we got them in the price of a sofa. You know, that's better than the old King's Ransom that we're paying for the other stuff. So now get to this barn, enjoy the drive. It goes through the drift road that I enjoy, so you're probably already past that bit by now. But yeah, feel free to pause. The penultimate step 11, auto repair in Los Angeles. Travel from Fresno, which is west of Las Vegas, to Westwood's Auto Repair in Los Angeles. Now, it did start fogging for me here, so it was very unlucky, but Westwood is in the top left of Los Angeles. Same with very close to the season pass owner's house, but it is at the top left, and you'll see a parking lot. It is very close. You'll see across the road from this parking lot, a couple houses down. That's where this auto repair shop is. So that's where we're going to be going. However, one thing, once you go to the road, you do need to go up first and just clip Fresno. You need to get up there until Fresno goes green and you know you've done the go from Fresno. Then begin and just set off on your waypoint. Well, I suppose this one's kind of obvious, you know. I mean, I haven't read it yet, but I assume we're at an auto repair shop, you know. So, with all the parts assembled at the auto repair shop, yeah, so that's where where we're going right now, where you're driving to. Well, you're probably still heading up to Fresno at the moment, but where we're about to be driving to is where the 550, our Billionaires 550, is going to be put together. Repair shop in Westwood. Yes, the repair shop in Westwood, Los Angeles. I had my own unique 550. It was I was satisfied, but not for long, because I thought about planes. I needed the best plane, too. So, wait. So wait, step 11. So we just went around from Southern America. We drove to the East Coast. Then we drove to like Santa Fe. Then to Las Vegas. Then to the West Coast. We went across the whole of the USA. Then we from there are now we're zipped about for a little bit and now are back on in LA. We're going to LA right now. And turns out this guy doesn't even want the car. He now wants a different car. Oh, sorry. Well, he wants a plane. I guess we'll have to see where this takes us. Okay, yeah. Feel free to pause now. The final step. Quarter deck of the yacht. There is no way. Travel from Los Angeles to the biggest yacht in Port Isabel, south of coastal plains, which is to the south of Dallas, with a plane, boat, or ground vehicle. Now, I say no way because this is where we began. Zoom in to the same place at the very beginning. This time I zoomed into the boy smashing and it's the yacht. The yacht we were at before. Now, one big thing is this says a a car, plane, or boat. Unfortunately, my name isn't Satan, so I'm not gonna try and, go there in a boat. Instead, I chose a plane, so it's a much more linear route. So I'm going to be going into a plane and going straight like that. Just before I read out the final story, there is a couple things you can do here if you want. Once you've gotten up to speed, you can just let go of the accelerator, and at least in the plane I'm in, or depends on the plane, you'll stay at a steady 150 and you'll just keep going forward. I do warn you, some mountains come up, the edge of the map is really close. It's on the line. You'll see as this sped up footage is playing, I keep getting knocked out and having to restart. But, there's a couple things you can do to just stay on autopilot, I guess. But, you're going to have to just fly in a straight line. Or maybe you drove, or maybe you sailed, which I'm sorry to hear that. But I guess we read the final thing. I mean, I need some answers. Why was this at the very beginning? So, on the quarter deck of my yacht lies the best of all cars, my Spyder 550, in its garage. I am seeking the best of planes. I enjoy getting better things. Maybe someone will actually enjoy using the car. So we're what, just taking it? I mean, I have been calling him our billionaire friend, but I never meant that literally. I suppose he is just giving us this 550. And does that mean this isn't actually a 550? A Porsche okay with this? We've got a restoration 550. Is this the first restoration? Well, it's not really a restoration. Is this the first, like, hand-built car in the Crew 2, canonically? I mean, I think so. I mean, maybe Heroes built a car once. I don't think the Regera counts. But yeah, I think this is the first hand-built car. But to think the car was just in that yacht at the beginning. Why? Why must you game? Well, you know what? It's a long flight. And you don't have to pause it here because you already know where you're going. Instead, you can get a little first look at the cutscene you're going to get to play. And I'm even going to hop into the car. Maybe I might leave that footage in. I might not. Maybe you check out the car for the first time yourself. But yeah, let's get to the location. You're about to see an absolutely banging landing. I take a little minute to fly in, of course, because obviously I wanted to have it a bit dramatic. You know, we're just getting in here, so I can show you boys the clip for getting this car, as you lot are most likely still flying over. And the thing is, I don't know. It does say with a plane or boat or ground vehicle, but if I switched or fast faved to a ground vehicle, I didn't know if it would stop counting my distance. And that's not something I could risk after that long of a flight. So here I am, trying to stick a landing. I don't know if you'll have to do this too, probably. Here I am trying to stick a landing. We did it here on the pier. I don't know if you'll be able to do it too, but here we are. We're in the zone for the yacht. And in a minute, I think I bask in the glory for a little bit. But then I collect it and show this damn good cutscene. Thank you boys so much for watching. Thank you to popular members, a special thank you to famous members, and an insane thank you to Icon member for the love of life. I hope you boys did enjoy this video because I enjoyed making it. Hey, subscribe and leave a like. It would be very much appreciated. And hey, if you're still flying there, if you're still flying to the last location, first person's kind of cozy sometimes. Alright, in a bit.
My heart spills, so I'm cleaning up a mess, yeah. I gotta go to church, feel the demons at my neck, yeah. When I'm on a pill, I be feeling like I'm blessed, it's a curse. When I'm on the drugs, I'm the worst, shawty. Tell me how it feels, tell me does it hurt. Tell me if it's wrong when I'm lifting up your shirt, shawty. Tell me if it's real, or would you leave me in the